What's up, superstars? On this video, I'm gonna be unboxing and testing out a new heat press that we just picked up from Amazon. This is a Royal Press 15 by 15 heat press. The reason why we went with this heat press is because, first of all, it is under $300. Our main goal here is to find the best heat press for your buck. And this is also part of a series where we test out 7 different heat presses and find the best one that's within your budget. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the description here. This again is going to be a Royal Press. It is rated at 4.5 stars and it has 1,824 ratings at the time of this review. It is a 1400 watt heat press and it plugs into your standard outlet at 110 volts. So let's go ahead and open this up so that we can take a look at what's inside. All right, let's go ahead and bring this down so I can bring it back up. What we got here is going to be the plug that doesn't remove. Let's take this out. This is also the instructions. Okay. Separate controller box. So let's go ahead, take out the bag. Take a look at this control box. I guess it has these prongs right here that just slip into this groove, and that's just how it is. They kind of break that apart so that the box is slimmer for shipping. There is not a handle, but there is a little foot stand right there. There you have it. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm gonna get my timer ready. Turn it on, press the timer. It's beeping because this is closed. LCD display is pretty nice, so let's go ahead and adjust that down. 300, press set. Timer's on at 2 seconds, so I'm gonna increase that to 7. And it also has a counter, so I'm guessing the counter is going to count how many times you press. Is that right? Okay, yeah, so after it finished the cycle, it does add 1 to the counter, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let's let it fire up. I have the timer going, and let's before we do that, let's go ahead and do some measurements. So I'm gonna measure. So first of all, the pad also moves around, so that's something that you can adjust. Now the padding is going to be 15 inches. By 15 inches. The actual heating element It is just shy of 15 inches, about 2 centimeters. And it is also just shy of 15 inches. All right, so it's not quite 15 by 15, but it's not too far off so far. Let me just do a quick clamp to test the pressure. Okay, so while it's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and do a pressure test. Now we do this dollar bill test so that we can test the pressure on all ends. We wanna make sure that it is the same on all 4 ends, that none of these dollars are gonna be able to pull out. That's how we're able to do the pressure test. So I'm gonna go ahead and clamp. Let's go ahead and adjust. So all 4 corners is pretty good pressure. It's even, but I do want to press our transfers on at heavy pressure, so I'm just going to adjust it a bit. And it is easy to clamp down, so I want to make sure that it actually clamps down. So now that it's good pressure, it does pass our dollar bill test. I'm going to continue to let it heat up. It's currently at 156 degrees. And it's been up roughly about 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So it's about 296 right now, 297. It took over 8 minutes and 50 seconds to reach that temperature. So it does take a little longer than some of the heat presses that we've tried in the past. But again, it is not the longest heat press to fire up, but that's currently where we're at, 297. It's hovering 298. It's gonna hit the 300. Took about 9 minutes, let's just say. So the next thing is I'm gonna go ahead and test the heat. Now we're gonna use our infrared gun, and we're gonna be using this to test the heat. Now the midpoint, I'm getting 266, 274, 260, 262, 262, 290 up top right here, 264 right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna clamp a shirt, and then we're gonna do another heat test on it just to see if maybe it'll be a more full run. And then we're gonna go ahead and check the temperature. Because it doesn't hit the temperature initially, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's do a clamp real quick. I actually need to use one hand to hold this down, so. It hit 240. So one more time. 266. That was the temperature that I got. Now we are using a Bella Canvas 3001, and this is going to be a size medium. Now from side to side, roughly about 19 inches. From bottom to top, about 24.5 inches. Now let's go ahead and get the transfer on here. Now because there's not a ton of room to fit my hand underneath here, for safety reasons, I'm just going to go ahead and lay the transfer on here first. I'm going to go ahead and fold the transfer in half. Now what this does is it gives me a midpoint. It creates a little crease on the top right here that I can use to help me center the transfer. I'm going to use my finger trick. 4 fingers is roughly about 3 inches. So that will give me this point here to the top of the transfer. And then I'm going to use my fingers on the side to help me adjust this to the middle. So I'm going to go from corner to corner, or the furthest point of the transfer, and I want that to be as even as possible. That's roughly straight for me. Let's go ahead and use some heat resistant tape. I'm just gonna do one on top and one on the bottom. I'm gonna slide this pad off. I'm gonna stick back in there. Now everything is within the pad. Okay, now 300 degrees, 7 seconds, heavy pressure. Let's go. And let's go ahead and let it cool down. Now let's go ahead and peel the transfer. I'm gonna grab a corner, gonna take off that tape. I'm gonna peel. Now before I take an in-depth look at it, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around and I'm gonna do a second press. One thing that I did want to notice as well is this does come with a preset Teflon sheet on top. So that's something that's also going to be helpful. Let's go ahead and press. Also 7 seconds, 300 degrees. All right, let's take a look at the transfer. Okay, now all the corners and all the edges are down. Everything looks pretty good so far. Main thing I'm also noticing is that there is the grain lines that are from the t-shirt. It shows that is embedded in the shirt. This is what's gonna help it on during the wash test. But so far, it looks good. Yeah, so far so good, guys. That's our initial results, but we have to put this to the test. We're gonna have to do a wash test, so make sure you follow along where we compare the different heat presses and find you the best one. We will also be doing a wash test so that we can show you guys the results of everything, and that's what's the most important part. So let us know if you guys have any questions. If you guys have this heat press, let us know your thoughts on owning this. Make sure you guys follow along, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and watch the next video.